Hello everyone. So today I am presenting a comprehensive review of the research paper entitled Smart Grid: The Future of the Electric Energy System. So first, who has done the work? So the research was conducted by a high-level team of IEEE members and fellows, Dr. Roger N. Anderson from Columbia University, Reza Ghafurian from Consolidated Edison, and Hamid Gharavi from the National Institute of Standards and Technology. So, we are currently at a historic paradigm shift where we have the opportunity to implement intelligent methods for producing and using electricity sustainability. So, the primary goal of this paper is to provide a broad, global definition for the smart grid as a system of systems. So the key objectives are modernize the current system from a one-way flow of energy to a system with multiple paths for electricity and information. Next, identify the technical challenges facing successful deployment. And lastly, promote environmental conservation through renewable sources and the integration of electric vehicles to reduce dependence on hydrocarbon fuels. So next, the authors explore several critical questions to guide this transition. So first, how can intelligence be added across the entire spectrum from generation to the end consumer? Next, what are the necessary attributes of this new system to make it safe, secure, and efficient? Next, how can the grid manage erratic renewable sources like wind and solar effectively? And lastly, how can we move beyond identifying the next worst condition to preventing the next most likely condition? So, next, the methods of data gathering and setup. So the author synthesized data from government policies, SCADA sensors, and emerging computer technologies. They analyze tools like Advanced Metering Infrastructure or AMI and Home Area Networks or HAN for demand response. For the data processing, a central technique discussed is adaptive stochastic control or ASC. This utilizes approximate dynamic programming or ADP to solve complex multi-stage optimization problems, effectively breaking down the curse of dimensionality as the grid grows. So next, the key findings. So the researchers' findings highlight a fundamental transformation. First, evolution, not replacement. So the smart grid builds on existing infrastructure to increase the utilization of current assets. Next, intelligent characteristics. So the system must be self-healing, reconfiguring to sustain power, predictive, using machine learning, and interactive, transparently sharing status with consumers. Next, technological breakthroughs. So the paper points toward quantum wires, which have the conductivity of copper at one-sixth the weight as a way to revolutionize transmission. And lastly, the economic impact, where implementing these controllers could save the need to build terawatts of new generation worldwide. So next, the research gap. So despite the vision, there are several gaps remain, which is the cost barrier. Building the smart grid will be very costly and requires cost justification at every step. Many technologies are viable but not yet affordable. Next, implementation time frame. So this is a gradual process that will take decades to be fully realized. And lastly, the social and regulatory hurdles. So there is a significant need for consumer to buy in, better government regulation, and a new generation of educated electrical engineers. So my takeaways is first, my main takeaway is that the smart grid turns blind demand into visible controlled demand. It shifts the consumer from a passive rule to an active participant, even allowing demand to be converted into supply through electric vehicles and local storage. Ultimately, it is the integration of machine learning and adaptive controllers that turns raw data into the situational awareness needed for a sustainable future. And lastly, thank you for listening to my review of this pivotal research. So that's all. Thank you for listening. And my name is Charnel E. Hames, and have a good one, everyone.